Hi there, this is Albert, and in this video I will show you how to validate AT reports using our product DeepQMS. This is the homepage of the product, and as you can see we have two modules, one to create AT reports and the other one to validate AT reports from suppliers, and other modules that will come soon. Let's focus on the middle one. On the left side, on this front end, you can see the AT reports coming from suppliers, coming in from suppliers, and then in the middle you see the format that we use in which the AT reports will be structured. Then on the top left corner there is this button. Pushing on it, you can introduce the data from the AT report that's coming in from a supplier. Of course, this would be automatized if it was connected to your quality system. You can introduce all this metadata like type of claim, plant, priority. This could also be changed based on your choices, and then we can upload the AT report. Here we created with artificial intelligence several AT reports in Excel, in PDF, with different structure inside, just to validate our solution, all right? So let's select this one and let's click on upload. And now we need to wait a few seconds. So here we are, and as I mentioned, all the data from that Excel file, in this case, was extracted by agents and structured in our format and of course in our databases. So all the information is here that was found in the Excel. And now here on the top right corner, we have the button validate. Let's click on it. And now again, an agent is checking each dimension and comparing the content to certain criteria that we have defined. There it is. For each dimension, we have if it's green with a percentage, if it's orange with a percentage, and if it's red with a percentage. And the criteria that we followed, it's in this Excel. I'm not showing this because this is intellectual property, but for each dimension we define what would mean for a dimension to be red, orange, or green. And for example, let's go to problem description. There are a few points here. There is no quantity defined, how many parts were affected, and this is a requirement that we define. This must be explicitly explained, otherwise it will be red. Same with the timing of the issue, when did that occur? If this is not in the problem description, then a dimension is going to be red, etc. And so let's check, for instance, I don't know, root cause, which is orange. This was a pretty good AD report, we have to say. For example, the 5 whys analysis for each selected Ishikawa cause does not drill down through all 5 whys levels. So there were 3 selected potential root causes, and then we had to do the 5 whys for each of them, but only 3 whys were answered. This could mean for some companies that this is okay and it can be accepted, but for others this is not acceptable. Depending on the company, we could make this be orange or red. And then an additional feature here is to give feedback to the supplier. Through this bottom, you would see the dimensions that have orange or red content in it, and you could be able to create an email to send to that supplier. Of course, we can automatize all of this with agents, and that's the intention, but these are things that we develop bespoke for each client at this stage. Thank you for your attention.